Sabrina and Brianna Stewart actually talking about the loss, what happened, things like that. People are loving what Sabrina said about Caitlin Clark and just showing love.
I'm so happy, I'm crying. I'm so happy. This is the best day ever.
The reigning champions, the New York Liberty, got steamrolled by Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. What happened next was pure gold for basketball fans. After a 14-point loss, Sabrina Ionescu and Sabrina Stewart stepped up to the postgame night looking like they'd just spent the night trapped in the Caitlin Clark highlight reel because they had. But instead of deflecting questions or blaming the refs, they stunned everyone with a brutally honest take on Clark's dominance. Their candid remarks seemed to shut down any lingering debate about who's truly setting the standard in the league right now. So, what do you think? Was it genuine respect or just a graceful way of swallowing a tough loss? Did the Liberty show us? Let us know.
Word undeniable exists for a reason, and it applies to Caitlin Clark.
She steps into that court, and in the first quarter, she made 3 threes in 38 seconds.
She is just absolutely undeniable.
Caitlin Clark was just different. Caitlin Clark is the system.
Caitlin Clark is
generational talent we've needed.
She is the system.
She's 4th in the league in MVP voting.
Caitlin Clark is an absolute all-star. She is the Michael Jordan of this. This is the girl that girls have been waiting for.
Let's rewind and set the scene. The New York Liberty came into the game flashing their championship rings, undefeated and full of confidence. On paper, this was supposed to be a routine win against an Indiana Fever team that had just scraped through 5 games without its superstar. The expectation was that the Fever would compete, not dominate. But the moment Caitlin Clark stepped back onto the floor, everything changed. She exploded for 32 points, dished out 7 assists, and delivered a highlight reel so electrifying it could easily be the subject of its own ESPN 30-for-30.
And Cunningham is down behind the play, but they've got Caitlin Clark to fire away from 2 players with incredible up. Ball from Cunningham. Clark, another long 3. She's back!
Let's rewind and set the stage. The New York Liberty entered the matchup flaunting their championship rings. Undefeated and riding the wave of momentum, on paper it looked like an easy win against an Indiana Fever squad that had just endured 5 tough games without their superstar. The expectation was for the Fever to hang in there and not take over. But the moment Caitlin Clark returned to the court, the script flipped. She erupted for 32 points, dished out 7 assists, and delivered a highlight-packed performance so electrifying it could easily earn its own ESPN 30-for-30.
Like we go on runs, they do as well. They're a great team. So I don't think it's defeating. I think obviously we know what a great shooter she is, and I think we just gave her too many easy ones. Obviously, she has great range, and her ability to get her shot off is really impressive, especially with missing some games. And so obviously on a personal level, I'm really happy to see her back out on the court, healthy, feeling good, because obviously it's important.
When asked about Caitlin Clark's return after her injury break, Sabrina didn't go back. She genuinely praised Clark's deep shooting range, her calm under pressure, and her ability to create clean looks even against tight defense. It wasn't just polite media talk or rehearsed humility of one elite shooter giving real respect to another. Sabrina even went a step further, saying she was happy to see Clark back healthy, just for the Indiana Fever. But for Caitlin, as a person, that kind of remark isn't something you say about a hyped-up media darling. It's what you say about someone you see as a true peer.
Caitlin Clark put on a show that only she can in leading the team to a win over the New York Liberty. She hit the logo bombs, 3 of them in 38 seconds. Caitlin was able to hit down the court, just gorgeous. I mean, come on.
What hit hardest, though, was Sabrina's admission that they gave Caitlin way too many open looks. Let that sink in. This is Sabrina Ionescu, a walking 3-point critic, admitting that Caitlin's range is a problem even when you think it's closed. The gap in someone with Sabrina's resume tells you. Clark's jumper is automatic with even a sliver of daylight. You believe her because she knows exactly what it takes to hit the parking lot.
Caitlin Clark is the best basketball player in the world. She's the best basketball player that I have ever seen. She is the difference maker. She is the needle mover. She is the face of basketball right now.
Let's see what some people are saying right here. I am 100% Fever, but first team I have watched with class this year. Other than my Fever, great game, ladies. I love the sportsmanship. May you have a great season.
Brianna Stewart kept her cool, but she didn't sugarcoat it. As a 2-time MVP and champion, she could have easily deflected blame or pointed fingers at the officiating, but she didn't. Instead, Stewie gave credit where it was due. admitting what everyone watching already knew. They were outplayed, not by chance or some lucky bounce, but by a team that came in with a stronger game plan, sharper execution, and one incredibly dangerous weapon leading the charge.
Literally, I think just making better reads off the switches. They made it really difficult because there was just constantly somebody there and trying to find an opening to get downhill or to find somebody else. And then collectively, like our defense, I think we should take pride in that a little bit more. And they had like 53 at half and finished with 102, so it doesn't really seem like we were guarding much.
Breanna Stewart was giving her a lot of space. She shoots it from the logo, she drills it, and right afterwards, I think all Breanna Stewart could do is kind of laugh about it. I actually loved that moment.
If you watched the game, you saw the moment Clark drained the logo range 3 right in Stewart's face, and Stewie just smiled. That wasn't defeat. It was recognition. It was greatness, acknowledging greatness. No eye roll, no frustration, a grin, because she knew she'd witnessed something special, even at her own expense. Those defensive breakdowns Stewart mentioned weren't simple lapses. They were the inevitable result of Clark's gravitational pull. When a player can pull up effortlessly from 35 feet, your defensive scheme unravels before it's even in place. The Liberty were yanked in every direction, trying to contain Caitlin, and amid that chaos, Indiana's other shooters feasted. What made the post-game moment even more remarkable is the total absence of ego. While the media keeps trying to manufacture drama between Clark and WNBA veterans, Ionescu and Stewart refused to take the bait. They silenced the noise, spoke honestly, and the box score backed them up. The Fever were lights out from 3, not because of luck, but because Clark's gravity gave her teammates practice quality looks. Stewart even confessed that New York overtaxed its starters just to keep pace with Indiana's offensive, testament to the psychological strain of our composers. She changes the tempo, bends defenses out of shape, and forces opponents to abandon their rhythm just to stay afloat. That's the Clark effect, exactly what emerging NBAs do.
I mean, it's not defeating. Basketball's a game of runs in the same way like we go on runs, they do as well. They're a great team. So I don't think it's defeating. I think obviously we know what a great shooter she is, and I think we just gave her too many easy ones.
And even Liberty head coach Sandy Brondello didn't offer excuses. There were no complaints about injuries, no subtle digs at the officiating, just a straightforward acknowledgement that the Fever were the better team that night. When coaches at that level tip their hats without hesitation, it says everything. This wasn't just a loss from New York, it was a statement from Indiana. Statistically, it was a blowout. Indiana dropped 102 points, with 53 coming in the first half alone. A team that had seemed adrift without Caitlin Clark suddenly looked like the reincarnation of the Warriors from the back of the floor, and those 17 made threes. That wasn't luck, it was gravity. Clark's presence didn't just elevate her own game, it transformed everyone around her into a dangerous, more confident version of themselves.
Look, obviously, we had to rely on these two players here, and we didn't get to the rim. Early in the game we did. I think we had about 32 points in the paint in the first half, and we didn't get as many open ones as we did in the second half, and that's on the coaching staff. We've got to make it a little bit easier for them in that regard, but they're switching. They were very disrupted. They were very physical, and we've got to be a better job at executing that.
Sabrina summed it up by calling basketball a game of runs. But let's be honest, this wasn't just a run. It was a dismantling. Indiana didn't simply get hot for a quarter. They executed with precision from tip to buzzer. That, more than anything, is what Sabrina and Stewart recognized: sustained brilliance. The truth is, Caitlin Clark isn't just making headlines. She's rewriting the narrative. She's elevating her teammates, humbling egos, and earning respect the hardest way possible by beating the league's best and leaving them with no choice but to admit it.
She is the only player in the league so far averaging 20 points per game, 5 rebounds per game or more, 5 5 assists or more per game. Caitlin Clark is back in action.
This team won a massive game.
The Indiana Fever have come out and dominated.
Breanna Stewart's post-game reflections are different. This wasn't just another routine loss wrapped in media pressure. Her words were deliberate, her tone was heavy, and the message was unmistakable. This one stuck. The Liberty pride themselves of being the WNBA's gold standard dynasty making the league's measuring stick. So when Stewart admitted they were rattled by Caitlin Clark's pace and poise, it was clear this wasn't just an off-night hit, it was a reality check. When defending champions start publicly questioning their identity after losing to a team that many had written off just 5 games ago, it speaks volumes about the shockwave Clark just sent rippling through the league.
We got back into the game. We had that run when Stewie was guarding Caitlin Clark, but then they executed well, and we had so many breakdowns on defense, and they made shots. They really punished us on that end, making 17 threes from 35. It was just too wide open. So a little lack of communication. We had to obviously work these two, probably overworked them tonight. But a lot of things that we can learn, and we, like I said before the game, we're nowhere near where we need.
The numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. Indiana was leading in transition. The Fever racked up 19 fast break opportunities, nearly triple their usual average. Why? Because Caitlin Clark doesn't slow the game down like it's 1999. She grabs a rebound or a loose ball and instantly turns it into a sprint. Stewart noted how difficult it was for the Liberty to get into their half-court sets because they couldn't get stops. And that's not just a coaching issue, that's Clark dictating the pace. Ionescu echoed the same frustration. York couldn't establish their transition defense. Their entire rhythm unraveled. That's the brilliance of Clark. She didn't just score or dish out assists. She dismantled New York's carefully constructed system and set it on fire.
Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu talked to the media alongside their head coach.
She has great range and her ability to get her shot off. I'm really happy to see her back out on the court. I'm happy she's back.
Caitlin Clark is a superstar. Globally,
Caitlin Clark is the needle mover.
She is the needle mover.
She is the franchise player.
And she was the MVP. She is the main draw.
As if the night couldn't sting worse. The free throw stats rubbed salt in the wound. New York actually earned more trips to the strike, yet still failed to turn the momentum. Stewart even called out their timid attacks at the rim. The culprit was Clark's sniper-like floor space. Give her an inch and she buries you. Crowd her and she slices to the cup. That kind of gravity strangled the Liberty's drives because any defensive lapse meant Indiana would get another clean look. New York tried everything to switch zones, even denying Clark the ball outright, but nothing clicked. When coaches with championship rings exhaust their playbook and still come up empty, you're not just facing a great player, you're up against a force of nature. Breanna Stewart's pointed comment about knowing who we would cut straight to the court wasn't a throwaway line. It was an existential gut check. The Liberty walked into the arena as the league's apex predator and left wondering whether they still owned the crown, because that's what Caitlin Clark does. She makes even the best question themselves, and the praise carries weight to Ionescu to battle elite talent all over the world. So when they label someone special, it means something. Sabrina zeroed in on Clark's lightning quick release, the way she fires under pressure, with hands in her face in the game's biggest moments. That isn't hype, it's elite skill. Great shooters make shots. Great scorers manufacture them amid chaos. Clark does both, as if she's scripting the game in real time. Let's not overlook the havoc Clark causes in defense. Stewart spoke about the Liberty's communication breakdowns, and this wasn't a matter of players getting lazy, it was Clark weaponizing the movement and timing, dismantling rotations before they even begin. When one player stretches the floor that wide and forces defenders into constant miscalculations, even championship teams can look ordinary. Then came the tempo shift. The Liberty normally dictate pace, slowing the game, managing flow, playing chess, but Clark turned it into ping pong. That frenetic speed shattered New York's composure, as Stewart admitted. The Liberty weren't playing their own game. They were reacting to Indiana's. To Clark, she grabbed the remote, changed it, channeled it, and New York never found a way to switch it.